Confidence isn't an accident. It's not some gift you're handed at birth, nor is it something you stumble upon when the planets align. It's forged in the furnace of your own trials, hammered into existence by the relentless pounding of discipline, action, and unyielding self-honesty. Every man who wakes up one morning and casually decides to be confident, without having paid the price, is destined to collapse the moment he faces real resistance. True confidence emerges when you stare down your own weaknesses, refuse to back down, and complete the task you swore you would complete, no matter how painful or terrifying it becomes. Most people chase confidence like it's a trophy to be won at the end of a race they never even entered. They buy books, attend seminars, repeat empty affirmations, hoping to trick their minds into believing they're unstoppable. But the mind isn't fooled by words alone. The mind demands evidence. It wants proof that you're worthy of wielding confidence like a weapon. You don't command confidence by chanting mantras. You earn it by doing the work that breaks you down and rebuilds you stronger. You build it in the gym when your muscles shake under a barbell, when you push through that extra rep while every fiber of your body begs you to stop. You build it in the boardroom when you deliver a deal on time, unflinching in your negotiations, refusing to cave to pressure. You build it in the quiet moments when you keep your word to yourself, when you resist the urge to scroll social media and instead sit in discomfort until you conquer it. Every time you fail to honor a promise to yourself, you chip away at your own self-trust. You tell your brain, I'm unreliable, and when you tell your brain that, you program it to expect unreliability. Suddenly, you lack faith in your own decisions. You hesitate before you speak. You doubt before you act, and hesitation is the killer of dreams. Doubt is the assassin of ambition. A man crippled by doubt is a man who has already lost. He tiptoes through decisions, always seeking permission, always looking for reassurance. He waits for the right moment that never arrives. Meanwhile, the confident man recognizes that the moment to act is always now. He doesn't ask permission from fate. He takes command of fate itself. Confidence is self-respect in motion. It is the wholeness you feel when your actions align with your values, when your choices reflect your highest standards, and when your integrity remains intact under fire. Consider the man who tells himself he'll wake up at dawn to train, but when the alarm rings, he hits snooze and returns to sleep. In that moment of weakness, he's not just skipping a workout, he's eroding a tiny bit of his self-respect. And every skip, every broken promise, stacks against him until he wakes up one day in a shell of the man he intended to become. The confident man, on the other hand, hears that alarm and rises instantly. He doesn't debate or negotiate. He stands, dresses, and begins his work because he respects the contract he made with himself. And that respect accumulates into an unbreakable foundation upon which confidence stands. When you face your fears and do it anyway, something remarkable happens. Your brain recalibrates. It registers, this is who I am. It no longer trembles at the thought of discomfort because it knows you'll endure. The next challenge that comes along, you meet it with the same unwavering resolve. Over time, every battle you win, every promise you keep, every boundary you push, programs you to expect victory. Your brain shifts from doubting you to betting on you. And once that switch flips, confidence becomes automatic. It's no longer a conscious effort. It's simply your default state. This transformation doesn't occur overnight. It can't be rushed. You can't sprint past the foundation and hope to arrive at triumph. You have to lay each brick one at a time. Some days you'll be exhausted, defeated, thinking you can't push another inch. Those days are crucial. They're the days when weak men quit, but those are the days when confidence is carved deep. When you dig your hands into the ground, force your body to move and keep going, you earn a level of conviction that no motivational quote can ever match. The world is crawling with people who confess their fears, who explain why they can't, who lament their lack of confidence as though it's a personal tragedy. They speak about it as if confidence is a state reserved for the chosen few, geniuses, celebrities, natural talents. But that's a lie. Confidence is available to every man who's willing to pay the cost, the sweat, the sacrifice, the persistent refusal to lie to himself. You don't need a fancy pedigree or a golden ticket. You need courage. The courage to take that first step, and the courage to take the next, and the next, even when doubt screams that you're an idiot for trying. Nothing tests your confidence like cold reality. It's easy to feel unstoppable in your own head, to rehearse in the mirror, to imagine applause. It's another thing entirely to face rejection, to be laughed at, to suffer defeat. Yet it is in those moments that confidence proves itself. When you get knocked down, you either rise or you stay down. Rise, and your self-trust deepens. Stay down, and you confirm your own insecurities. Confident men rise, they stand, they shake the dust from their clothes, and they declare victory by the mere fact of standing again. Remember this, confidence doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you acknowledge fear and move forward despite it. It means you feel the adrenaline surge in your veins, you see the threat, and you proceed with consummate focus. Confidence isn't the absence of fear, it's mastery over it. It's the ability to look at fear straight in the eyes and say, I'm coming through. And every time you do, you teach your entire being a lesson that you are the author of your destiny, not circumstances, not critics, not past failures. Confidence also requires humility. The confident man knows that his path is never complete. He's always learning, always adapting, always sharpening his skills. He doesn't assume he knows everything. He investigates, researches, trains. Yet he doesn't let the pursuit of perfection paralyze him. He takes imperfect action and refines it in real time. He speaks with conviction even when his knowledge is incomplete because he trusts his ability to learn and improve on the fly. That balance of boldness and adaptability is what separates true confidence from arrogance or ignorance. An untrained mind is the enemy of confidence. If you never challenge your intellect, your adaptability, your problem solving under stress, you'll be a passenger in life, dependent on others for decisions, suggestions, and validations. Confidence demands competence. If you want to speak confidently, study your subject until it becomes second nature. If you want to lead confidently, learn to read people, anticipate reactions, and guide outcomes. Whether the battlefield is a boardroom or a social circle, the more prepared you are, the less you fear. And the less you fear, the more confident you become. Your body and mind are a team. Physical training primes your mind for resistance. Mental training readies your body for challenge. Confidence blossoms when both are in harmony. Neglect one and the other falters. A man with physical guilt, feeling weak because he's unhealthy, carries that shame into every confrontation. A man who lacks mental control, whose mind wanders in distractions, transfers that insecurity onto his posture, his speech, his very aura. True confidence demands you cultivate both aspects relentlessly. Solitude is your ally in building confidence. When you remove distractions and face yourself alone, you learn your true strengths and weaknesses. You confront the whispers of self, doubt that echo in empty rooms. You learn to sit with discomfort until it becomes familiar territory. You learn that even with no audience, you have value. That kind of internal validation is unbreakable because it comes from your core, not from applause. Solitary challenges, like long runs, cold showers, silent meditation, grueling workouts, teach you to rely on no one but your own resolve, and that resolve cements confidence more solidly than any external persuasion ever could. Another pillar of confidence is gratitude. It may sound counterintuitive. How does being grateful make you more confident? Because gratitude grounds you in reality. It reminds you of victories already achieved, of hurdles overcome, of strengths you've denied yourself by focusing on lack. When you recognize how far you've come, fear loses its grip. Doubt shrinks in the face of demonstrated progress. You reinforce the narrative in your mind that you are capable, you are resilient, you are worthy. That narrative fuels confidence and sustains it when new challenges inevitably arise. Action is the oxygen of confidence. The longer you stall, the more your mind invents reasons to remain stagnant. It conjures worst-case scenarios, magnifies risks, and hides possibilities. Only action dispels those illusions. When you act, you encounter reality. You gather data, you adjust, you win or you learn. And both outcomes feed confidence because they expand your capability. Confidence is not a static trophy. It's a living, breathing force that grows with every strategic move you make. You must also guard your environment. Surround yourself with people who amplify your commitment, not your doubts. People whose success pushes you forward, whose standards are higher than yours, whose presence reminds you to elevate yourself. Cut out the energy vampires who whisper you can't. What if? Hold off. Their voices will drown out your own truth if you let them. Trust that your inner voice, tempered by action and evidence, is stronger than their skepticism. And if you find yourself surrounded by negativity, use that as fuel. Let it propel you to act with more urgency and with more ferocity. Keep score of your progress. Track your wins no matter how small. Every day you wake up on time, every project you complete, every limit you push, you notch a point in your ledger of competence. Review that ledger when doubt creeps in. Let the evidence speak louder than the whispers of fear. Chart your improvements, faster times, heavier lifts, bolder negotiations, more articulate speeches. That concrete record becomes your most powerful confidence booster because it speaks in irrefutable facts. Visualization is another potent tool. Don't confuse it with idle daydreaming. Effective visualization is a mental rehearsal of precise actions under pressure. Picture yourself in high-stakes scenarios, the audience watching, the deal on the line, the competition looming. See yourself performing flawlessly, maintaining composure, speaking with authority, making the right decisions. Then step into reality with that image burned into your mind. When the moment arrives, your brain draws from that mental template, and your body responds with familiarity, not panic. Remember, confidence is contagious. The more you embody it, the more it ripples through your interactions. A confident tone invites respect. A confident gaze demands attention. A confident presence commands space. You won't need to announce your worth, the room will feel it, but resist the urge to rest on that power. Confidence must be renewed daily through continued action, continued integrity, and continued pursuit of mastery. Most importantly, know that confidence is your birthright. It's not reserved for the gifted or the chosen. It belongs to every man who's willing to sacrifice comfort, embrace risk, and deliver on his promises to himself. The choice is binary. You either pay the price of confidence with sweat, sacrifice, and steadfastness, or you remain shackled by doubt, forever whispering apologies to the world. The only thing standing between you and unshakable self-belief is your willingness to hold yourself accountable, to endure the storms of discomfort, and to emerge from every challenge with your head held high and your resolve strengthened. That is how confidence is forged, and that is how you become the man who doesn't just talk about confidence, but lives it. Most men walk through life acting like they have all the time in the world. They waste years chasing distractions, sleeping in, scrolling endlessly, getting emotionally involved in things that don't matter. They think peace will arrive in retirement. They think success is a matter of time, not action. That's the first lie that keeps them weak. Peace doesn't come from avoiding hardship. Peace comes from knowing that you are at war and you are winning. Every day you waste is a day you gave up to the enemy. The enemy isn't out there, it's in your habits, your laziness, your excuses. That voice in your head that says, "Take it easy," is the same voice that's burying you slowly in mediocrity. You will never find peace by chasing comfort. You will only find it by becoming strong enough to handle chaos and laugh. That's the mindset shift you need to make. Look around you. This world isn't designed to make you powerful. Everything is engineered to keep you soft. Entertainment, junk food, porn, social media, endless dopamine traps. They're not just distractions. They are weapons used to sedate the masses. You're being neutered mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And if you don't actively resist it, you'll look up at 40 years old with a soft belly, an empty bank account, and a head full of regrets. Men think discipline is optional until the consequences of undisciplined living hit them like a train. They think skipping the gym is fine until their body is weak and their energy is gone. They think wasting time is okay until they realize no one is coming to save them. They believe working hard is too much until they're broke, begging for a second chance. Every small compromise you make now becomes a permanent scar later. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. You want peace. Earn it. Earn it through war. Earn it by suffering more than other men are willing to suffer. When you wake up at 5 a.m. and grind while others sleep, that's peace. When you stay focused while others drift, that's peace. When you become so dangerous that life no longer intimidates you, that is peace. Peace is a reward for the warrior, not a gift for the coward. Most of your anxiety is because you know you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. That unease in your chest is your inner man screaming at you to move, to fight, to rise. But you drown him out with distractions, with numbing habits, with lies. You tell yourself later, but later never comes. Later is where your dreams go to die. Understand something. You will never respect yourself if you keep choosing weakness. That's why you're restless, why you're irritable, why you feel hollow even when things seem okay. Deep down, you know you were built for more. You know you're capable of being something greater. But your actions betray that truth every day. And until your actions align with your potential, you will suffer internally. That's not depression. That's wasted purpose. There are two versions of you, the man you are and the man you could become. The gap between them is your pain. The wider the gap, the more turmoil you live with. But here's the power. You get to decide how wide that gap is. You get to close it through action, through sacrifice, through discipline. You either become who you were meant to be, or you die haunted by the version of yourself you never became. Life will never be easy for a man who wants to win. That's the price of greatness. You don't get to be powerful and comfortable at the same time. You don't get to be respected and lazy. You don't get to be wealthy and undisciplined. Life will always demand more from you than it does from others. That's the cost of carrying the sword. But that's also where the peace is, knowing that you've stepped up, that you've taken responsibility, that you are no longer a passenger but the one driving. Stop looking for motivation. Motivation is for weak men. Discipline is what separates killers from quitters. Motivation fades, discipline stays. Motivation is emotional, discipline is ruthless. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to do it. Get up when you don't want to. Show up when you're tired, work when no one is watching. That's how you earn self-respect. That's how you earn peace. You want to feel better. Stop trying to feel better. Do better. Take action. Move. Clean your room, go to the gym, build a business, cut out weak friends, stop drinking, stop chasing women, focus, tunnel vision. Become the kind of man you admire, not the kind of man you tolerate. Every day you wake up and act like a beast, you kill the coward inside. Every day you execute, your self-worth grows. Every day you dominate your emotions, your mind gets sharper. That's the formula. People will tell you to slow down, to enjoy life, to take it easy. Ignore them. They're already dead inside and they want you to die with them. You don't owe anyone your mediocrity just to make them feel comfortable. Your hunger will offend the lazy. Your focus will intimidate the distracted. Your results will expose their excuses. Let them be offended. Let them talk. You're not here to be liked. You're here to become unbreakable. Some days you'll want to quit. That's normal, but you don't. Because the mission is bigger than how you feel. The mission is to dominate, to provide, to build an empire, to become undeniable. You owe it to yourself, to your future wife, to your future kids, to your future legacy. Weak men let emotions dictate their path. Strong men feel the same emotions and move anyway. Most men are waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect plan, waiting for permission. Let me tell you, the world owes you nothing. No one is coming to give you a golden opportunity. You have to take it. You have to create your shot, your lane, your name. Waiting is a luxury you can't afford. While you're waiting, another man is working. While you're doubting, another man is building. And when the time comes, he'll be ready. And you'll be forgotten. The clock is ticking. You're not getting younger. The window is closing. The years you waste now will come back to haunt you in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. You think grind season is temporary. It's not. Grind season is life if you want to win. There's no arrival. There's no destination. Just higher levels of war, and the stronger you get, the more peace you'll have, not because the battle stops, but because you've become a warrior who doesn't flinch. If you can master your morning, you'll master your life. Wake up early, move your body, feed your mind, execute. While the world sleeps, build your advantage. While they scroll, study. While they dream, work. That's how you win. Stack small wins daily. Be consistent when it's boring. Be disciplined when it's hard. Build habits so unbreakable that failure becomes impossible. Eventually, you'll feel something shift. You'll look in the mirror and not just see a manual, see a weapon. You'll walk differently, talk differently, move differently. You'll stop apologizing for your ambition. You'll stop explaining your standards. You'll stop negotiating your value. You'll live with fire in your eyes and peace in your soul because you know, no matter what happens, you're built to endure, you're built to dominate, you're built for war. And in that war, you'll find your peace. Confidence isn't given, it's forged, it's earned in silence, built in suffering, and sharpened through action. You don't wake up one day with power. You earn it through years of discipline, through choosing the hard road every single time, through refusing to stay down when life punches you in the mouth. You want to be confident? Then become the kind of man who has the receipts. Confidence comes from competence. It comes from putting in the work that others avoid. It comes from making yourself undeniable. Stop begging the world to see your value. Build it so loudly that no one can ignore it. Speak less, do more. Think less, move more. Doubt less, believe more, because once you realize no one's coming to save you, the real you is born. You are the hero, you are the weapon, you are the answer. Act like it, walk like it, talk like it, and never apologize for being a man who knows who he is.